the medical technology industry is central to our economy, contributing $5.4 billion to Australia's GDP. Sustainable access to innovative medical technology is critical for the health of every Australian. As the health needs of our community evolve, we must continue to invest in the innovations that will keep us well.
Hi, I'm Ian Burgess, CEO of MTAA, or the Medical Technology Association of Australia. And we're the peak association representing the medtech industry in Australia. And our members range from the large global brands through to Australian businesses, SMEs and startups. And they include local manufacturers, exporters, and also importers and distributors of medtech. And more than 80% of our members are SMEs. And that reflects the long tail of SMEs in the industry in Australia. And we've got a significant number of small to mid-sized businesses that make up the industry. MTAA initiated the Value of MedTech Report project more than a year ago. And this is a key strategic focus and a key strategic project for us. And we were very fortunate to receive the support from MTPConnect. And we partner closely with MTPConnect across a range of initiatives to promote and grow the medtech sector in Australia. And also we had great support from Pathology Technology Australia, and they were able to pass on some excellent data that they had collected through their members. The report shows the enormous value that medtech contributes to Australia. And this is across value to patients, to our health system, and to our economy more broadly. And that economic value is significant. More than 17,000 jobs. And when you include those that supply and support the industry, that's more than 51,000 people employed either directly or indirectly through the medtech sector. $5.4 billion of contribution to GDP. So that's a significant contribution to our economic growth in Australia. And then the impact and the contribution in terms of local development and local innovation. Clinical trials, there's more than 394 clinical trials that are either underway or planned to start in the next 12 months, and these are medtech clinical trials. And a really key metric that the report came out with was that 71% of companies had products that had some form of local development. That's an enormous extent of local development that takes place of medtech in Australia.
My name's Praveen Siriwardena, Policy Manager at the Medical Technology Association of Australia. I oversee and progress industry policy-related activities on behalf of our members. These include trying to find ways to promote local manufacturing and R&D opportunities, seeing how we can better harmonise procurement processes across the different states and territories for our members, and seeing how we can best support our members navigate any supply chain challenges they have as well. For the Value of MedTech Report, I was the project manager, and as part of my responsibility, I developed a steering committee that provided the governance during the course of the project. And I also worked closely with Nous Group, which were the consultancy that did the robust economic analysis, which was supplemented by case studies we received from members and non-members, as well as stakeholder consultations they did with a wide variety of health stakeholders across the healthcare system.
From before we are born to our very last breath, our health and well-being is supported by medical technology. Medical technology is everything from pacemakers and personal devices for management of diabetes, X-ray machines and MRI scanners, and surgical robots. Every day, more than 500,000 Australians benefit from medical technology that detects and diagnoses conditions such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, stroke, and diabetes. Every day, Australians receive life-changing surgery.
Medical technology touches the lives of every Australian from when we're born through to our last days. And all of us are in contact with life-saving and life-changing technology. More than 500,000 Australians every year benefit from diagnostics that diagnose disease early so that we can live longer, healthier lives. More than 250,000 Australians have cataract surgery, and that's using artificial lenses that enables people to see better again. So it's that significant impact on patients that is the key societal impact. MedTech enables people to hear, to walk, to see, to live, to have a far better quality of life. So as an individual patient, that's the value. And then for society as a whole, there's enormous value from a government perspective in terms of healthier citizens. But every step through the MedTech value chain, right from research, clinical trials, commercialisation, manufacturing, supplying a product into the market, and ultimately a device or a technology that is benefiting a patient, there's that value at every step along the way. And from our society's point of view, it extends from the individual patient and then that broader societal value.
One of the big ongoing challenges is attracting the right talent to supplement the Australian MedTech workforce. 64% of survey respondents outlined it was really difficult to attract local talent to the Australian workforce. And this is still an ongoing challenge and really needs to be addressed on a policy level to ensure that we can continue to provide value to patients going forward. We need a robust workforce to do this. There are some other challenges as well that are ongoing that are more of a global and systemic nature. So these are ongoing supply chain disruptions, the increased expenses of doing business in Australia, and the lingering effects of COVID-19 still are impacting businesses as well.
At the heart of every advancement in medical technology are the people who bring it to life. More than 50,000 people work to support the medical technology industry across Australia in roles spanning research, clinical trials, innovation, investment and exportation. Over half of these people are women.
There has been strong growth at 10%, and that's again contributing in terms of the number of jobs that MedTech contributes to Australia. But we are facing a skills shortage, and as the whole health sector is under that pressure, particularly with COVID. And that's not going to be solved overnight, and this will extend for a number of years yet. So we are working closely with a number of organisations, for example, MTPConnect. We are partnering with their READY program that is developing skills and experience in the MedTech sector. And that's across the whole sector, from R&D, clinical research, right through to the MedTech sector in terms of experienced MedTech personnel that are in the field. And this is an ongoing problem that the industry has had. We undertook some research through Deloitte around 5 years ago, and that identified the skills shortage then across all functionalities in the MedTech sector, and that would continue for the next 5 to 10 years. And we've seen that, and unfortunately we have seen it exacerbated through COVID. So we're working through programs with partners such as MTPConnect. We're collaborating with universities to develop skills and experience. We're reaching back into high schools as well to promote STEM, to promote the awareness of the MedTech sector. And a number of our members, individual companies, are very active in that sense. And then from government's point of view, one of the key initiatives that government needs to do is to enable skilled migration, and we need to be having a very clear pathway for that, and particularly a skilled migration pathway that leads to permanent residency. And for us to be competing on a global market and attracting the best people here, we need to be able to offer that.
We found that over 70% of survey respondents noted the regulatory environment, and 55% of survey respondents noted regulator pricing as challenges in terms of doing business in Australia. What I think this suggests is that we have a greater understanding, thanks to this information, of the current challenges that we face, and this allows us to facilitate constructive dialogue with key decision makers going forward, how we can streamline those processes to ensure we have greater market access for technology that helps patients down the line as well. What we've heard from both the survey quantitative data and qualitative data that we've received is that it is really going to be important going forward to ensure that we streamline the regulatory and reimbursement process is going important, not just for existing technologies, but for novel technologies and the latest innovative technologies that are coming out. We have a great array of amazing startups doing amazing things, and if we can find a way to create an environment conducive to more innovation happening, and then that can lead to those kind of innovations being able to be accessed by patients down the line, that is a win for Australian medtech.
Because this is such a significant report for the industry, and that's for the industry, not just MTAA, we wanted to have a key event around the launch of the Value of MedTech Report. So where better else than in Parliament House, and to be joined by key stakeholders in the health sector. So we had more than 100 people join us, patients, doctors, members of Parliament and senators and their staff, government officials and health sector leaders from a range of organisations. We also showcased a range of medical technology. We had bone saw simulation robots, ophthalmic surgery virtual reality, through to female reproductive diagnostic tools, just to name a few. So this was a great event. The report was officially launched by Minister Butler. He spoke with a warm and positive speech, talking about the value and potential of medtech while recognising the challenges that the industry faces. So a great opportunity for the industry and our members to be engaging with government at all levels, and the highlight being the launch of the Value of MedTech Report in the middle of Parliament House.